Now is the time where everyone's going to look skywards. What we had told you, what was new. All right, so it's right there. So the Operation Sindoor formation has already happened right in the beginning when the Air Force contingent had marched. But this is the Flypast, and what stunning visuals are these, Sandeep?
Absolutely. C-130s right up there in the air in formation. The C-1, sorry, that's the C-295. That's it's a European aircraft which India is now assembling in Gujarat, very interestingly, and those are flying there, that is.
So it's the Arjun formation, the Vajrang formation, the Vijay formation, the Varuna formation. Sandeep, shall we get in Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor?
Yes, Air Marshal Kapoor, you want to come in on these aircraft that we're seeing, the C-130s and the C-295s in formation.
The camera is now, for the last few years, being positioned in the cockpit, which indicates the real-time data transfer. So the cameras from the aircraft are bringing the live coverage to your TV sets, and this is what the new warfare is all about. And you can see, like Sandeep mentioned, the C-295s, which we have got 16 in flyaway conditions, and 40 are being manufactured in Vadodara factory. The first one is likely to join the flight line shortly, and we are going to have these aeroplanes as replacements for HS-748 Avro aircraft. And this Flypast, you see, this time has components from the Army and the Navy also. So the Army Aviation Wing flew their ALHs, and the formation after this would be led by a P-8I from the Indian Navy. So it is an integrating display of the aerial platforms from the three services, in my opinion.
But Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor, you know, we're privileged because Air Marshal Kapoor, you were part of the Republic Day Flypast in 2005, 2006, 2007.
Yes, I have personally flown 3 years on the same Rajpath, it was called then. And it's a beauty, you know, I was explaining, Sandeep, before the program, that those days we had about 60 plus aeroplanes, and for each fleet there is a standby aeroplane on top waiting.
Flying majestically.
So in a distance from Rashtrapati Bhavan to where the National War Memorial is now is about 3 kilometers. So in a span of about 3 kilometers, the varied speed aeroplanes at varied heights fly, and with nearly nil visibility, with birds, you know, it's a challenge to be flying at the precise seconds to be at the dais. Here you can see, I was just mentioning, the P-8I is being flanked by 2 Su-30s, and this camera is positioned at vantage points in all the platforms, and here we are watching the live coverage.
Admiral Sinha, you want to come in on the P-8I, how much of a game changer it has been for India and Indian Navy's long-range maritime patrol capabilities?
Quite a lot, Sandeep. You know, we got this as a replacement to the Tupolev 142 aircraft. And it is very modern. When we wanted it, it has been inducted into the US Navy and Indian Navy at the same time. It has very advanced weapon systems and detection system, the torpedoes, and it also has an exocet missile on it, harpoon missile on it, and air-to-surface missile. So I think that, you know, what we are talking about, a very strong maritime domain awareness, the contribution of P-8I is absolutely, you know, game-changing. We have entire Indian Ocean under surveillance 24/7, including during the Galwan crisis. It also flew along the line of control and giving very sensitive intelligence, electronic intelligence to the army, so that, you know, they could redeploy their forces here and there. So I think that it's a very good buy, and we already have 8 and 4, 12 of them, and I think there'll be 6 more induction, which is already in the pipeline. Sandeep.
You know, it's quite amazing because what we're seeing on a television screen involves 29 aircrafts, including 16 fighter aircrafts, 4 transport aircrafts, and 9 helicopters, all participating in this year's Republic Day Flypasts. We can actually hear them right here in the studio.
Yes.
We can, you know, and these aircrafts are operating from 5 different bases, and that is what Sandeep, that we were speaking of, and possibly what Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor, who's done it 3 times in a row on Republic Day, 5 different air bases, 29 aircrafts coming together in synchrogen and, and making it seamless the way it's happening. It's quite amazing.
Absolutely, Preeti. It's like this huge orchestra up in the sky with various fighter aircraft, transport aircraft, all coming together into performing that thing for a few minutes. And
this is the last run-in. This aircraft is going to do vertical Charlie, and it's at a speed of about 1,000 kilometers per hour. The height would be around 500 to 700 feet above Kartavya Path.
विजय फॉर्मेशन कर्तव्य पथ के ऊपर से एक रफेल 900 किलोमीटर प्रति घंटे की रफ्तार से वायु विचरण करता हुआ उड़ान भर रहे हैं ग्रुप कैप्टन अमित गेहानी जोधपुर से उड़ान भरी है
एयरक्राफ्ट doing series of rolls, going up, and finally would disappear into the blue yonder, signifying the motto of the Indian Air Force, Nabha Sprisham Deeptam. Vijay stands as a salute to the spirit of India, resolute and rising.
उपस्थित जनसमूह आह्लादित है, उल्लसित है, रोमांचित है वायु योद्धाओं के इस वायु विचरण को देखकर, जिन्होंने भारतीय वायुसेना की गौरवशाली परंपरा की नई मिसाल कायम की है। नभः स्पृशम दीप्तम को चरितार्थ करते हुए कर्तव्य पथ देश प्रेम के रंगों से ओतप्रोत होता हुआ।
Now you see me, now you don't. You blink and you miss. What a wonderful flypast. Historically, flypasts have a special affinity with parades and form their aerial component. And the flypasts here at the Republic Day Parade have a way of imprinting themselves on the audience's memory. A form of aerial salute, they show respect, display aircraft, and showcase flying skills as a form of entertainment to delight the public. And everything is what we saw.